continue. All right, so PTips is the construction of technical analysis that's provided from third parties. And we are trading in Forex. Now, Forex is traded on margin, so it is considered a high-risk trading investment instrument, okay? So anyways, what we're trying to do here is to provide you a secondary opinion about how the markets may move. Now, a kind reminder, we're not providing any signals here, okay? We're just utilizing PTips to read and understand how they're analyzing the markets. And hopefully this can help you on your own analysis. All right, so we can all become smarter traders. Okay, so without further ado, let's kick off with Euro USD. Okay, so basically here on PTips on Euro USD, we are seeing one thing. RSI is above 50 right now, okay, reaching close to 70, so that's cool. All right, and then now obviously the prices are between the top bands, okay, are between the top bands. So obviously when prices are between the top bands, it's basically an indication of potential bullish markets, okay, that's basically what it means. All right, so anyways, right now, from what I see, I would see this as bullish. That's what PTips also says. Okay. Overall, the lower points are becoming higher. So in the large direction, it does seem to be creating something called, a bullish trend. Okay. But of course, a strong resistance is also seen here. Okay. So obviously a stronger bull, I would read it as if prices can go break above it, and then the bullishness will continue. Okay, but overall right now from what we're seeing, okay, is that it is bullish. So from just the analysis of PTips, it shows bullishness. Okay, market may still go up, but from what I'm seeing, it may be experiencing a little bit of a pullback because it's reaching a resistance point. Okay, but if the prices do maintain in between the top bands, then it's still going to continue bullish. Okay. All right. H4. What do we see? H4 is quite exciting. Here, let me just make it this way so it's more clear. Okay. H4, we actually see a gap. Okay. So gaps are meant to be closed. So regardless of what the market's going to happen, gaps have to close. All right. Okay, so price right now is between the top bands, indication of bullishness. RSI is reaching close to 70. Okay, it came back down from overbought. Okay, so it's still a sign of bullishness. So in general, it is bullish. Now, if the prices do break above this resistance point, then it's obviously a very strong indication that the trend will continue. Okay. All right, H1. Let's see if we see any other more details. Okay, H1 RSI is above 50, bullish sign. On the Bollinger Bands, it's trading in between the 1.0 deviation bands. So how I'm going to read it is if the prices are in between the 1.0 deviation bands, you may want to just trade in between the bands, okay? But if it is trendy like the market is right now, it's best that if the prices will be in between the top bands for more bullishness. Okay, that's how I would read it. Okay, all right. So in general, it does seem Euro USD is on a bullish trend right now. Okay. All right, so let's move on to silver. Same idea. All right, silver, we're going to start off with D1 and then we're going to work our way down. Okay, so right now, one second, I'm just going to wait until the sirens finish. Great. Okay, so right now what we're seeing is that RSI is above 50, okay, and then the prices are in between the 1.0 deviation bands. So from what I'm seeing is that it's still a sign of bullishness, but obviously the bull trend may may have come to sort of a stop. It may be experiencing a little bit of a pullback right now. Okay, so if anything, right, we should be trading in between the top band, in between the 1.0 deviation bands. Okay, so for example, if right now RSI is like here near 50 and my prices are between the bands, okay, what many people may try to do, okay, is trade in between the bands. Okay, so trading in between the bands basically essentially means that if the prices are low here, okay, and then RSI is above 50, then we'll do a buy. Right now, it may not be an indication of a buy right now, okay, if we're going to trade in between the bands. All right, but overall, the direction is bullish, right? Okay, so if we're going to do a sell, this is my recommendation. Use the MA20 here as your take profit point, okay? And then if the RSI still maintains above 50, I think it's best to focus on more of the trend direction, which is the buy direction, okay? All right, so H4. Let's quickly take a look at silver on H4, okay? Silver. Okay, H4. RSI is below 50. Okay, now prices are actually in between the lower bands right now. It's challenging the lower bands, so potentially a sells may start occurring. Okay, but that's basically on H4. All right. Okay. So from how I'm seeing it is that if it's based on the technical analysis, we can actually enter into a sell. Okay, but same thing on D1. If I'm going to do a sell, I mean, you may not want to try to go anywhere below the MA20. Okay, so if you're going to place a sell, then obviously just trade in between the top, the lower bands. Okay, all right, let's see if H1 gives us something else. All right, H1 is quite unique. Here, take a look at what happened here. See, H1, obviously it does seem like a bullish trend may be prevailing, okay? But the prices are in between the 1.0 deviation bands. RSI is below 50. But you see, the lows are becoming higher, okay? The lows are becoming higher and higher. So overall, the direction seems to be more trending, more bullish, okay? Now, obviously, when the prices are like this, in between the 1.0 deviation, same thing. I would just recommend to trade in between the bands. Okay? Yeah. All right. So, just a reminder before we jump in and start talking about gold. PTips, okay, it's basically provided free of charge, right? It's free. It's totally free for everybody on PTips, PT Fintech social media. So if you have not followed us on PTips, PT Fintech, then I do highly recommend that you could do that, okay? So then you don't miss it, all right? It's always published during the London session, okay? Now, obviously, if you want the complete set of PTips provided by our third-party providers, as long as you're a VIP client of PT Fintech, then you'll have access to it. All right, so let's take a look at gold on D1. Okay, gold right now seems trendy. Okay, it's bullish trending. Okay, so prices, the RSI is above 50. Okay, the prices are in between the top bands, indication of bullishness. Okay, all right, so H4. Ooh, see. Bullishness is still occurring, okay? You see, it came back down from an overbought, you see, okay? So usually when it came back, comes back down from overbought, there's gonna be a strong sense of sell orders on the market. Obviously, overall, the trend still seems bullish, okay? So that's a good sign. All right. Prices are still above MA20, so I still read this as bullish. Okay, obviously we're not providing any signals here, so it's a personal opinion. Okay, now obviously if bullishness continues, right, obviously we don't want the prices to drop below this trend line that I just drew. Okay, great. So now let's see H1 if we actually see more new details. Great. Here, let me drop it here. H1 is quite unique. It is a confirmation that gold is literally ranging. Okay, you see that? It's ranging, but yet it is also still more bullish in the overall direction, right? Great. So since it's ranging, okay, what you have to be wary of is to trade in between the 1.0 deviation bands only, okay? If it's ranging, obviously the 2.0 deviation bands are not going to be that useful, okay? 1.0 deviation will be the most useful. So if anything, you see even RSI is right at 50, so it's not very clear the indication whether it's bull or bear, right? Okay, so overall, from what I'm seeing, is you may want to be trading in between the 1.0 deviation bands. Okay, all right. So obviously, if the bullishness continues, what I want to see is that the prices will break above this ranging market's resistance. Okay, so 2417.7 is what needs to be broken. So if that breaks above, then obviously the continuation of more bullishness is going to occur. Okay? All right. Okay, so that's pretty much it for our PTips today. I want to thank everyone for sticking around to take a look at what's happening in the markets here with PTips. Okay. At the same time, we will see you again on Wednesday, right? Every Monday and Wednesday, we will see each other live, and we will basically take a look at what PTips have to offer. Okay. Now, just a reminder, every Monday to Friday, the analysis are free of charge on all of our social medias on PT Fintech. So make sure to follow us and like us. All right. It'll help us a lot. Thanks. Okay. Well, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you. Bye-bye.